Hi, friends, and happy Thursday. I hope you're having a good ending to your week. If you are joining me live, I would love to welcome you to today's live stream. We're talking all about how to create more ease in your business, more peace, and more results as we enter the fall. And I really wanted to do this because I was sitting down and thinking, just last week about these kind of two distinct phases and seasons of business that I noticed for myself and for many of my clients, and I really wish someone would have sat down and explained this to me. I wish that someone would have sat down and said, like, hey, Anna, here are these two phases of business so that I could be aware when I cross one and enter the other. And so I just want to break them down. And then if you're in that second season of business, I really want you to take these. I'm going to give you 4 suggestions, like 4 practical things you can do in order to lean into this. But if you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And feel free to ask whatever questions pop up on your heart throughout this. I love to chat with you guys in my live streams. And so come hang out. Like, let's do this. Let's connect. I really believe that if this is popping up in your feed, or maybe you saw the email my team sent this morning, you're here for a reason. And there's something that you're meant to get out of this that I truly believe will make business and whatever you're launching this fall easier. Isn't that crazy that we're already into the fall? It's kind of crazy. So really what I categorize it as 2 phases, right? In the first season of your business, it is good and healthy and normal to be a little bit like spazzy, right? To get an idea, to take inspired action. I wrote without overthinking, starting small and embracing imperfection, having self-trust, not letting fear paralyze you, believing your success is inevitable. Do you know what I mean, right? That season where it's so good to be an ENFP like I am, right? And really embracing that and not making that wrong. And I feel like, hi, Jen, so good to see you. Happy Thursday. I feel like a lot of people get stuck because they don't allow themselves to just go full in and all out on that season, right? So maybe that's you, and maybe you're hearing this morning here and you're in the back end of your business, you're perfecting your website, you're working on your systems, but you realize, no, I'm either at the start or in a season of my business where I just need to go all in and go ham and not worry about what others think of me, right? Not worry about having it be perfect along the way. And really, honestly, and there are seasons of our business where we need to always re-tap into that energy, right? That energy of self-trust, right? Phase 2 we're going to talk a lot about is being able to trust others, being able to trust your team, right? Once you build a team, being able to trust your clients, right? But in that first chapter of business, it's really about self-trust and trusting that I can figure it out along the way, right? Trusting that as I take imperfect action, as I get visible, I can roll with the punches and figure it out. You guys have heard me talk a lot about this before, but usually what trips me up isn't necessarily fear of failure, but fear of success, right? How am I going to handle it when I'm fully booked, when my audience blows up, right? And for me right now, okay, you want some real talk? Okay, so for me right now, I'm working on continuing to grow my group programs. And so I think for me, my group programs, if you've been in any of my group programs, they're very high touch, right? I am in it with you. If you're in one of my groups, in many ways, you probably feel like a one-on-one client, right? Because I really show up, I answer the questions, I'm in the private Facebook group all the time. And so for me, I have to have the self-trust. I really believe that in the next year, my group programs are really going to blow up, right? So for me, it's that exercise in self-trust around, even when my programs massively grow, I still am going to be the leader I am, and I'm going to show up. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I know that I'm innovative. I know I figured everything out, and I know that I'm going to figure it out along the way. Right? And part of the reason why that's so easy to tap into for me is because at the start of my business, I had similar fears, right? What about when I'm fully booked with one-on-one clients? How am I going to remember 15 people's problems at the same time, right? Or whatever fully booked is for you. And so really tapping into that energy of I've got this. I can conquer the world. I can figure it out as I go, right? So that's phase 1 of your business. Though, like I said, we tap into that in multiple seasons of our business. But here's phase 2 that took me way too long to learn. And now that I've really leaned in and mastered it, I just want to spread the word far and wide of how important it is to learn this in your business in order to get success in that second chapter. And by second chapter, you may be thinking oh, I can tune this out because I'm a newbie, right? Yeah, I've signed a few clients, but I'm a newbie. Yeah, I have 1,000 people on my email list, but I'm a new, I see you. Go ahead and call yourself out right now and tell me I'm not a newbie, right? Go ahead and just own that. Own it for the world, right? So after you gain some traction, one of the biggest skill sets that I found was important for me to learn was having patience. Not just having that idea and sharing it in the moment, but being able to pull things back a little bit and pace myself, right? Being able to trust my team, right? Being able to let money be easy to make. At the start of your business, in some ways, money is kind of hard to make, right? In the traditional job market, it is somewhat hard to make money, right? We are providing like hours for dollars, right? We are doing effort. And at the start of our business, usually it's the same as that, right? Usually at the start of our business, we are doing a direct, I do a coaching service for you, you pay me money, right? I love that Jen and Alicia are just claiming I'm not a newbie, right? Just own it, like own it. And I think that's where like, one of, there's been several of my clients right now that are hiring team members. And in order to hire team members, you have to kind of like announce to the world, I'm hiring, which is also like, how are people going to judge me when they realize that I'm actually making some money in my business and I can hire, right? Like, anyway, why did it go on that tangent? Okay, so claiming I'm not a newbie, right, is somewhat vulnerable because it's like, what if, the few clients I do have drop off next month, right? Or really owning that success, I think is so key to getting more, but it can be really vulnerable. So I just want to honor you big time if you're feeling that nudge on your heart to own that and just own it and maybe even say it in the mirror to yourself every morning, right? Really owning your success, owning your experience, because that's what's going to help your clients hire you too, right? Okay, so back to this. That was a tangent. Having patience, letting go of control and trusting your team, getting used to money being easy to make, right? The further you are in your business, if you let it be, money is easier to make. You have other battles to climb, but the money part, because you've already created the systems and the programs and it's not scary to coach people anymore, right? It's somewhat easy to do the execution on it, okay? And then also you're repeating and refining your program. So if that's you and you're here for this message, like let's just tap in and tune into this because I really feel like someone had told me 1 year into my business this secret. It's not really a secret, but like, okay, Anna, it's time to stop creating new programs and time to just stop and refine and repeat your current programs, even if they feel imperfect, right? Because that's how you grow and scale, right? Is being able to layer on, okay? So for example, the Visibility Boost Challenge that I've been running this summer and that I've been promoting, I recorded that challenge last summer, right? But I allowed myself to repeat it. And so many women, I massively grown my email list, right? From that challenge that I already had, but I really think it takes so much intention to, hi Sarah, happy Thursday, to start doing this. So let's dive into this. Into this energy. Okay, so I have don't let me forget, I have 4 things, like 4 really practical things that if you're in this season of your business are going to massively help you. And I think in this time when life is a little busier, like if you're a mama like me, you're making hard decisions on, do I send my kid back to school? And even if you're not a mom, like life is just full of extra decisions. So I think it's an extra appropriate conversation to have around how do I let my business be easier, right? How do I accept help in my business? How do I really embrace the second season of a business where I'm being patient and where I'm planning in advance and I'm allowing to come in. Hi, Ariel. Happy Thursday. So fun to be hanging out with you ladies. Okay, so let's do this. So I'll do the 4 things that have helped in embracing this season, because I think in this season, since we're not creating new programs and we're not creating a lot of news, sometimes we twiddle our thumbs and we're like, well, what do we actually do, right? What do we do? So these are 4 things you can do. I'm going to name them and then I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth. Okay. So the first thing is having a solid place for your ideas. Because part of entrepreneurship is having ideas. And so if I'm telling you, you need to go back and remarket your old freebie, you need to rerun your old group program, what do you do with all these new ideas? How do we honor that creative part of us? And honestly, for me, as a ENFP, part of what gives me life is the creation, right? Part of what excites me about my business is creating new things. And so I think for a minute when I realized this, like my heart sunk because I was like, shoot, like, am I not going to love my business anymore if I'm not able to create new things? And I think what I was able to realize is I could find a way, and part of my biggest job as a business owner, hi Caitlin, happy Thursday. Part of my biggest job as a business owner is to figure out how to reignite and re-excite myself around my current offers, right? And yes, I'm still creating new things and new programs, but I'm releasing them at a far slower, more intentional pace. That way my current revenue streams, right? My current established things in my business, my free and paid things, I'm allowing them to bloom and grow, and I'm not like chopping them down in order to plant new plants, right? How often do we do that where, our plants are just starting to grow? We wait forever. We have this little seed. We put it in the ground. We water it. We do sun. It starts to sprout, but we had to wait a little while to even see the sprout, right? I'm not like an epic gardener for any of you that are wondering, but I think this is a good analogy, right? And then it starts to go and it starts to take off, right? And after it starts to take off, it really goes if we allow it to, right? But if we suddenly turn our attention away and start planting all these new plants, it is harder for that established plant to grow, right? And so really think about what are those things in your business that you established maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, that it's time to put more love and attention into, right? Okay, so I said I wasn't going to go in, but I did. So number 1 is having a place for all your current ideas. And I'm going to tell you the place that I store my current ideas. Number 2 is really knowing what your daily, weekly, monthly tasks actually are. So you don't trick yourself into thinking that you have time that you don't. That's what I wrote. I'm going to talk more about that too and how I do that for my team too. Number 3 is having CEO time so that you can actually think and process your thoughts. So important. I have a lot to say about that. And then 4, reminding yourself of the 3 truths of the second phase of business, which I already covered, right? Truth number 1, patience is your new friend. Planning in advance is what you get giddy about. Repeating and refining are your guiding light. I'll paste them in the chat box here below too. But those are the 4 things that I feel like are going to be so helpful to you if you're like, Anna, I already have a little traction in my business and I'm ready to like rake in the money, right? Without shame, right? And I'm ready to really like lean into this ease. And I feel like, again, like this is the year to do this. And in many ways, we're kind of forced to do this because you may have less time in your business. You may have less, even if you feel like you have more time than ever to work in your business, we all have less headspace. And when I work with women, some that have kids and they really only have like 10 hours a week to work, but some of my clients with this whole thing have more time than ever. They have like 50 hours a week in their business, but they're feeling similarly paralyzed because in this current season we're in, have you noticed that your brain capacity is like just a little bit less? Like for sure mine, like for sure my team has like felt and saw that, right? So I think like instead of beating ourselves up for that, it's like, okay, my capacity is going to be a little bit less in the season. I may need to take more naps, right? I may need more support than ever from my coach, right? Not making that wrong and also realizing I can make the same amount of money and or more. My fall is going to blow up even with less capacity if I own it, right? I was driving around. My kids were kind of like going a little batty 2 days ago. And let me know I'm not the only one. Like if this is you too and you're like, I just want to own that I have a little less capacity in this season. Like it just is stressful, but I have less capacity and I'm just going to own it. However, I don't expect anything different in my results, right? I still expect to make bank this fall, right? And also, I'm just going to own the truth that like life's a little crazy and I'm just a little lower capacity, right? Okay, so key example, and I'll get back to the 4 points. I was like feeling kind of agitated. My kids were going crazy. So I'm like, okay, hop in the car. Like any other mom, like that's my solution. Like I hop in the car. So we hop in the car, we roll down the windows, we play some music, and we drive to Starbucks. And you guys know I'm a tea person, but this particular day I was like, forget the tea. I need the coffee. Like I just need a coffee. Just mom needs her coffee, right? So we go, it's only like 4:30 in the afternoon. Starbucks drive-thru is closed. Oh my good Lord. I was like, the world is ending, right? And I think it's like just realizing, and I just kind of laughed. I just kind of laughed and was like, oh, that really stinks, right? But it's just like owning and realizing like this is a season, like it's just a season. However, I still expect massive results this fall. Like I know that I do. And even if you're like, how is Anna thinking and saying that, right? Borrow my belief, right? That's what I say like in my faith all the time. Like, you know, if you're having trouble with having faith in your business, right? Just borrow my faith for a minute and really know that I 100% have seen it to be true time and time again with my clients that when they have accepted their current reality, accepted their current life, put on their blinders, they've been able to get massive results from it, right? Not comparing yourself to someone else in the season, right? Just really looking at honestly, how many hours do I have to work right now, right? How many clients do I actually have room for? And just showing the F up for your life, right? Stop getting distracted. Delete Instagram if you need to, right? Really turn on those blinders and tune in. Okay, so 4 things that have helped. Again, number 1 is having a place for my ideas. So again, in the second season of business, when you're working on refining your programs, as you're relaunching your groups, as you're re-promoting your freebie, you're still going to have new ideas. You're still going to have new freebie ideas. You're still going to have new program ideas, and they're going to be really, really good. So what do you do with them? I like to have this beautiful little Google Doc. I have like a little list in Asana, and I have a Google Doc for every single inspired idea, right? I have about 6 different ideas. That who's like an idea person where you're like, I just have like ideas front, left, and center. If people could just like pay me to have ideas, like hello, right? So I have a separate sacred Google Doc for every single idea, and I actually have it bookmarked. That way I have a space for it and I'm honoring that idea. And as I'm getting inspiration, I write it down because who knows, in this next season, I may be less inspired and have more time. I don't know if that's ever true because I feel like I always have more inspiration than time, right? But really, it's helped me so much to have a Google Doc for every idea because I can honor it, and then I can really go back when I need to and remember what the heck I had the idea about, right? So really having those Google Docs and having like a little index somewhere where you can access them has been so helpful, and almost like itches that scratch of that new idea. And then you're able to see over time which ideas fade away and which ones last, right? You're going to notice that some last. And those are the ones when you do have capacity in your calendar that you're going to go all in on. Like I know for me, I already know what program I'm launching this fall. I'm doing another round of Visible Impact. Yay. I'll drop the waitlist link too if you guys want details. But I know that my fall is basically full for me and my team for launches, but in December, I have a little opening for a new idea, right? I already think I know which one it is, but like there's like 3 competing. And so I'm going to decide, I know that in December, right, whichever sticks is what I'm going to go with, right? And it takes discipline to do that, but I'm telling you, it feels really good when you realize like this is what makes you money and makes you less stressed in your business, right? It's a sacrifice. There definitely is that trade-off of not feeling the adrenaline rush. I feel like the second season of business is a little less adrenaline-y, right? It's a little less exciting. So I just want to tell you that, right? But it's also more fun because you make money and it's easier to make money. Right? And so don't let yourself believe the lie that you need that addictive adrenaline run, the hard work to make money, right? And tell yourself, I can make money with the adrenaline, but I can also make money while I sleep. I can also make money in a way that's easy, right? And it's going to feel odd and it's going to feel different, but you've got to figure it out if you're going to last, because there's no way that you can last for 4, 5, 6, 10 years making money and continuing to increase if you don't get this. Okay, let me know if this is helpful. Okay, Kayla says, yes, new mom plus COVID equals definitely not having the capacity I had before in this season. Totally, Kayla. And so it's like being able to just acknowledge that, right? But also say, and also I'm not willing to let the results I get in my business be compromised for that. Okay, so that's number 1, is having that sacred space for ideas in your business, and also like having a date, right? For, okay, after I relaunch the same program that Anna told me to launch, womp womp, then I'll do my new idea, right? And there's this magical thing that happens, right? When you make that decision, that CEO decision, not that impulsive decision, but that deep, grounded, peaceful CEO decision, you're going to get reignited and re-inspired about your current stuff. right? That's part of your job, right? I mean, think about, I don't really drink soda, but think about Pepsi. They've had to get, their marketing department has had to get re-excited and reignited about the same product all the time, right? But that's part of our job. And I find, especially if you're an innovative person like me, when you tell yourself, I'm going to relaunch this program because I know it's what's best for my business. I know people get massive results in this program. I know it's already built and established, right? You're going to find that your innovation goes to work, right? With your existing offer, with your existing program, with your existing freebie. Okay, that's number one thing that's helped. Number two has been, in order to lean into the season of patience and repeating things in my business for more money with ease, has been getting clear on what my actual current daily, weekly, monthly tasks are in my business. And this may sound a little bit like womp womp, but it's so important to ask yourself, what do I actually do in my business? And this is how you don't overcommit yourself, right? When you actually get clear on, okay, every day I, engage in my Facebook group, whatever it is. Every day what are your daily things? Every 3 days, I meet with my clients, right? Have that list. Number one, that's going to be so helpful to you when you hire because you know exactly what you can start outsourcing. But also that also for me reminds me not to overcommit myself when I see if I'm actually doing all the things I'm supposed to, then I don't really have time for that new idea, right? If I want to be responsible and if I want to have my little on Fridays, I try to have my money date where I sit down and I look at the transactions my bookkeeper has done and I do all things money, right? And I'm not going to have time for that, right? For my routine, boring things in my business if I'm always overcommitting myself. And so really getting clear on what are the things I do daily, weekly, monthly, right? I go live in my Facebook group every Thursday. What is it? Those routine things, really getting clear on those, I feel like has been so helpful for me. And actually putting them in my calendar. Okay, number 3 is, Ariel says me too, or I think you mean with the ideas, right? Number 3 is having CEO time, check-in time with myself so that I can actually process and look at my thoughts, right? And see and sort out stuff within me, right? I think in order to access more peace and more patience and more presence, I've had to do so much better at ignoring the outside world and really tuning into my heart, right? And again, this is something that it's part of my biggest job to access this so that when I go to my team, so that when I hang out with my kids, right, I am bringing that peace to them because, again, the world is somewhat chaotic right now, right? And so we're not necessarily going to get our peace from the world. We're not going to get our peace from scrolling Instagram, right? We're not going to get our peace from our kids when they're having a hard day. Where do we get our peace from? Well, for me, I get a lot of that from God, right? My faith is important to me. And also from having a time every single day. I've done this for about three months now, is every single morning or afternoon, whenever I can squeeze time for it, I check in, I ask myself 5 questions. I'll post the podcast link below too of the 5 questions I ask myself every day. And you guys, this does not take a long time. It takes like maybe 5 minutes, right? But really checking in with myself and being able to sort through what's going on, doing my mindset work every single day and making that my job has been so key to the season of my business, right? And really sorting out my thoughts as I grow and scale. Okay, and number 4, again, is just those 3 truths that if you're in the second season of your business, like you're going to want to like put these on your wall. So I'm going to say them. If someone wants to write them down for me, that would be so helpful too. Number 1, patience is your new friend. Patience is your new friend. Number 2, planning in advance is what you get giddy about. Notice I use that word giddy, right? Because I think when we are taking inspired action, that can feel like that adrenaline rush. What if you got that same adrenaline rush from like planning in advance in your business? And maybe you're like, Anna, it's the opposite for me. I love planning in advance, right? Maybe you need to say, I get giddy about just showing up in the moment, right? But for me, it's more natural for me to be able to like create inflow in the moment. And so really encouraging myself that it can be really fun and profitable too to really plan and get my team on this strategy in advance. Okay, number 3 is repeating and refining, my love, are your guiding light. Repeating and refining your current business assets, right? What does that mean? It means your free content, right? The free content that you write. People ask me all the time, like, Anna, how are you producing so much content? For those of you that have been around me for a while, you know that I reuse my content, right? I really am faithful about me and my team reusing and repasting and reposting and updating my current content, right? So repeating and refining those posts, right? Really looking at maybe on Instagram that you want to go scroll your Instagram and maybe 5 of your favorite Instagram posts, you want to use those to post in Facebook groups this week, right? Really looking at how can I repeat, how can I spend my time to refine, right? With my content, with my free offers. Think right now, when you think about all the free offers you've created in your business, which one do you feel like, and maybe even ask yourself right now, which one do I need to spend a little more attention re-promoting it? Like, it's really good and not many people downloaded this freebie. It's your job to promote it, right? It's not them like, oh, I didn't have the right audience. Like, it's your job to get excited and promote it. So maybe even let me know in the chat box below if there's a free offer in your business that you're like, I need to re-promote this. Maybe I need to write some more promo posts and get this freebie into some more hands of people because it's really good and I truly feel like it's going to help people. And then finally, repeating and refining your paid programs, right? Getting more people into the programs you've already created, or that's your one-on-one or group offers. But really, those are the 3 truths that I found have been so helpful for me. And so peace giving, right? Okay, my loves. I think that's it. I would love to hear from you guys what your questions are. Tell me what your questions are around this. Oh, and I almost forgot I have a fun announcement. Oh my good Lord. Oh my good Lord. Thank God for my Facebook Live notes and that I planned this in advance. I remember what I was going to say. So drop any questions you have for me while I make this announcement. So many of you, I think around 120 of you have purchased the social templates, which I'm so excited about. And so I'm doing a bonus QA call, just a private Zoom QA call with me at the end of the month. If you bought the templates, and we're going to be jamming out about all things visibility, any questions you have about the templates. So if you already purchased that, you should have gotten an email in your inbox that reminded you. If you didn't buy the templates yet, number 1, go buy them ASAP. I'll drop the link below. They're super affordable and a great way to get 70 plus social media templates that, especially if you're in the second chapter of your business, right? It's going to help make visibility so much easier because what happens when you make social graphic templates, you're able to use and reuse them, right? You're able to say, okay, every time I go live, I use this same damn graphic, right? Every single time. So give yourself permission to create that stability with graphics like that. So download the graphics for 1 week only. So for 1 week only, I'm going to be leaving the doors open to be able to download the graphics and then join the free Q&A call that's included. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Grab the templates, come hang out with me. And I'm just so grateful for you guys. Feel free, if you guys watch the replay, drop any questions you have for me around this. I really feel like this message is just on my heart to share with you. And so I would love to support you if you have any questions around that. Let me know. I'm also excited that Visible Impact is going to be opening up again really soon. And so I'll drop the link for the wait list. If you're looking for visibility support with me and you're working on making that easier in your business, I would love for you to join me. So join the wait list for that. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much. Kayla, Jen, Alicia, Ariel, thank you so much for hanging out. I am so grateful for you ladies. Okay, grab those templates and I'll see you next week.